Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Arun Reddy Tech for you. In this video, we are going to discuss about programming language, introduction to C language, history of C, basic structure of C, writing and executing a C program. So friends, if you don't want to miss my video, please subscribe my channel Arun Reddy Tech for you and don't forget to like. Coming to our first topic, programming language. So we human being need to communicate with computer. To communicate with computer, we need a medium. That medium is called programming language. So friends, we generally speak our mother tongue. It may be Hindi, English or Telugu. But computer understand machine language. So it cannot understand a normal human language. So we need a medium which will help us to convert our human language to machine language. So that medium is called programming language. So all our needs can be communicated to computer with the help of programming language. So you can see programming language is acting like a mediator between user and computer. A small definition for the computer program. Computer programs are set of instructions to perform a specific task. Very easy, right? So you can see examples for computer programming. It's a C, C++, Java and many more. Coming to introduction of C language, generally C language started in 1972. So it was developed in 1972, and after that C language there are many languages like Java, C++, PHP, but all these languages base was again a C. So C is a base for all other languages, and major part of even a Windows, Linux, Unix are still written in C languages. So C language is a structured programming language and it contains a lot of rules and regulations to be followed. So let us see what is history, where it has started. So C language was developed by Dennis Ritchie, and where it is developed in AT&T Bell Laboratory. So in 1972 there was a laboratory called AT&T Bell Laboratory which is in the US, and there Dennis Ritchie is a person who developed this C language. And let us see what is the history, what was starting, and now what it is. So coming to the history, first in 1960 it was called ALGOL. ALGOL means algorithm language. So it was developed by international group. After that, the same ALGOL is again developed as a BCPL in 1967 by Martin Richard, and the same BCPL again in 1970 it has become a B language by Ken Thompson, and in 1972 it has converted into C. They used to call us traditional C, and this is developed by Dennis Ritchie. So Dennis Ritchie is a person who has developed C language. After that, it got approved by national institution which is American National Standard Institution. From there, people used to call it as ANSI. And after that, in 1990s, it also got approved by International Standard Organization. So this is how this is what our history of a C language. And coming to the structure of C language, it contains 6 elements. First section. So 6 sections are there in our structure. First one is document section, second links section, third definition section, fourth global declaration section, fifth main function, and sixth subprogram section. So let us see one by one. So first, document section. Document section, this section contains of a set of comment lines. So you have given 2 examples, addition program. You can write comments directly by giving double slash, or you can write slash star. Okay, so both of them are same, you will get a same result. Okay, so the comment lines which given the name, suppose you want to give any author name or any details of your program. Suppose I want to write additional program, or this program is written by some people, you can write in this comment section. So this compiler, what it will do, it will ignore the first line which is called document section. So it will not it will just skip the lines which are written in the comment line. Next one is a link section. So link section contains header files like studio.h, conio.h, and these header files will help us in executing a program. And a third section is a definition section. Here I have to write as a equal. Okay, so whenever we are declaring something in the definition section, it will be like a permanent. Suppose pi means pi. Pi value will be 3.14, so it will not change. So the things which are not changing generally we declare in the definition section. And next, global declaration section. So what a global declaration contains means it contains a variable, and suppose you want to give any value for a variable, that will apply for the main section and subprogramming section. So both of them will be affected when you declare in a global declaration section. Coming to the next section, main function. In main function we have again two parts, declaration and execution. In declaration part, just as a simple example, int a, suppose you are declaring a variable, that will come under the declaration part. And execution part contains printing or calculating, suppose c is equal to a plus b, so this all will come under the execution part. So there is another section which is called a subprogramming section. We will also call it as a user defined function. In this we will have a subprogramming, just like add, int add, where we will take z is equal to a plus b and we will return the z, right? So this picture will show you how on the left side you will have a basic structure and right side you have an example. So document section which contains a comment section, whatever you want to write you can write, and it will be ignored by the compiler. Second one, link section which contains header files. Definition section where we want to declare anything you can declare. And next contains a global declaration section. When you declare something in the global declaration section, it will affect both main function and subprogramming function. And next one is main function. Again, main function contains two part, declaration part and execution part. And next function is subprogramming section, and in this section we will have a user defined functions. Coming to our next topic, writing and executing a program. In writing and executing program we have four parts. First, creating the source file. Second, compiling the program. Third, linking the program. Fourth, executing the program. So let us see. First, creating source file. So the first step of is creating source file. Creating source file means writing a program code. So for that we use text editor. So I use a platform Turbo C and C++. There I used to write the program. And the next step is compiling the program. So in this we use Alt plus F9 as a shortcut key, or we can go into the compile option. There we will find this option, compile. So when you have errors it will stop there itself. If you don't have errors after compiling, you can proceed for the next. So it will convert the programming language into the machine language, the compiler. Next step is linking the program, which contains the header file. So in linking program, our object file will convert into the executable file. So our header file will help us to convert object file into execute file. And the last one is executing the program. In this executing program, the execute file .exe file will convert into the output. For that we use Control plus F9 as a shortcut key. So you can see a output hello world when once I say Control plus F9. Nice, right? So this picture will show you from the starting to the ending. First we have written a program .c, a sample program. Then we said Alt F9. Immediately this source .c file will be converted into object file. Means if you don't have any errors, if you have errors it will stop there. Otherwise it will convert into object file. And this object file again, if you link, means with the help of header file, obj file will convert into the execute file. This is the next step. Okay. After that again, if you say Control plus F9, this execute file will convert into the output. Nice, right? So this picture will make you a simple, it will make you easy to understand. So starting was a source and last was executing. In between we have we will save with the help of F2. We will save as if we will give some file name .c, and immediately we will compile by using Alt F9. So if you have errors, it will stop, otherwise it will continue, then it will link with the header files. And when you say control plus F9, so what happened, it will show you a output. So I have simple programs, I have taken two simple programs to make you understand how our basic program runs. Okay, so the two programs are common output. What I have done is, this on the left side I have taken as void main, and right side I have taken as int main, because lot of people are confused with the void main and int main. So when you write void means returning it's null, so doesn't need to return anything. So int main, we will return, we have to return some value. So when we use when you return some value, we use int, or you may use a float. So instead of int we can also use a float. Okay, so the both programs have the same output. So when I use void, I don't return anything. When I use int, you can see I have returned, I said return 0. So output is common, hello world, hello world. Nice, right? So friends, keep practicing. Thank you.